Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back, KS family. Let's run the numbers. Currently Bitcoin is down 0.2% to 41,810. Ethereum down 3.18% to 31,18. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money institutional mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. The sun will come out again, and there is always hope. Rule 774, master yourself to master the market. As a community, we focus on real wealth and maintaining a positive excellence life trend. That's all about integrity, decency, kindness, strength, boundaries, courage and honor, fearlessness, which leads to inner peace and outer peace. Rule 138, all investors become traders every time they buy or sell. Investors buy, investors sell, traders sell. In times like this, when crypto is coming down, it's important to know what it actually is. Bitcoin and the cryptographic alts are the next layer or the next level of the internet. They're Web 3.0. When we go back in time, many people thought the internet may just be a passing fad as millions gave up on it. It's the same thing as we're witnessing right now. What people don't understand is that crypto is here to stay. It's literally the layer of value on the internet and will fundamentally change the financial system. But not just that, it will fundamentally change the world. When we talk about metaverse, when we talk about interstellar travel, all of these things require cryptographic alts to actually facilitate them. It could be unfathomable to absolutely think about the future in these terms, that we could actually live on the internet. Science fiction films have talked about it for many years. It is undeniably going to happen. So what are cryptos all about then? They're the actual ownership layer of Web 3.0 when we live on the web, live in the web. It's an amazing thing. Web 2.0 was all about the transmission of information to and from, social networking, all of that kind of thing. Web 3.0 is completely different. It's literally, we will live inside the internet in virtual spaces and have real experiences. And of course, the cryptographic alts are all about the value transfer mechanism as well as the ownership level of the network. It's a little bit flippy to think about it like that, but we went from having a very centralized internet in Web 2.0 because of the massive expanse to decentralized Web 3.0, which is on the way. Literally, when you invest in any particular alt or Bitcoin, you're actually staking ownership in internet Web 3.0. That's what you're actually doing. There is extreme fear in the crypto market at the moment. 23. This is really good. This is when the best bargains become available, and it's the exact time when most people are heading for the door. That's the difference between trading and investing. Traders look forward to the red. They want it, as well as professional investors. They also want it. The smart money institutional mindset is always acquiring when everybody is fleeing and always distributing when everybody is going all in and more. I see this as simply an accumulation zone. Smart money always buys when the price is coming down because they understand that a Bitcoin now, when it's at a lower price, will be worth more when the price increases. They're actually lowering the average buy price of their overall portfolio. When people are new to markets, they think that certainty exists, that they'd never make losses. It's not the case. It's not the case in any market, especially not the case in crypto. Rule 112, markets profit in uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty now. This is exactly the time that markets profit. Rule 130 is a favorite for our community. Make volatility your best friend. The volatility inside crypto is legendary. No question about it. Basically, prices can go up and down like a yo-yo. As professionals, we use that to our advantage. It's really important to make volatility your best friend, or else you'll get actually pushed out of otherwise profitable positions, or positions that could be profitable over the longer term. Rule 45 is incredibly important. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Turning to the KS model, which is a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology, what we can see on the relative strength, we're very, very low on the RSI. These are always the single best opportunities to actually buy. If you look back in periods of history, this is one of the safest places that you can ever accumulate. A lot of people don't want to accumulate anything on red days. That's exactly the day that they need to accumulate. When we turn to Bitcoin's price action, we can see Bitcoin came down. It's currently trading at 41,806. It came down, hit a level of support around the 40,500 mark, and has been consolidating to the right here for quite a while now. It's seeking to actually overtake this resistance above at around 42,286. It's looking reasonable, but we could expect further downplay to, for example, 37,378. If we get that, that's just part of the plan. We've seen, especially in yesterday's episode, this we actually looked at about 5 weeks ago and painted this picture that this could happen. That's why the smart money institutional mindset is always making in advance probabilistic choices. The retail investment and trading mindset only has one perspective choice. It has to go up under all circumstances, and it can never go down. That's where Rule 4 comes in. Price moves in waves. Just simply knowing that there's always going to be a wave up and a wave down can prepare you for when things do come down. And when things come down in crypto, they can come down really, really hard. And that is exactly the time that you should be leaning in, not the time that you should be heading for the door. Leaning in means that we act like a dimmer, not like a light switch. Zone 1 and Zone 2 behavior is all about going all in or coming all out. Zone 3 and Zone 4 is all about scaling in and scaling out. When we say leaning in, I'm leaning into a position. That means you're buying at levels of support below the current price. For the Masterclass students, the trigger section will open in approximately 19 hours. We know the price is always moving in a wave, and the institutions love to kill the spirit of retail investors. That's why every day I talk about the smart money institutional mindset to protect you from those big bad institutions. They certainly can hurt people. But not being hurt by institutions means that you need to completely rewire your mindset. That is really difficult to do, but that is something that I focus on every day here with our beautiful community. On the weekends, price can move around really dramatically. We've only had $286.8 million worth of liquidations over the past 24 hours, but price has been hit pretty severely. We can see that 124,884 traders were liquidated. And let's have a look. Over the past 24 hours, around 77% of liquidations were long. I believe we're going to start to see a bottoming out process right now. Things look to be turning around, but of course we always have to make those probabilistic choices. What happens if it's not correct? What happens if it continues down? For example, to 37,000. We must always have all three opportunities in mind: going sideways, going up, going down. These in advance probabilistic choices will help you sleep really well at night, and they will prepare you as well for crypto's volatility. Crypto is incredibly volatile. I say it every day. If you can grab that volatility and use it for your advantage, make it your best friend, your whole world will change when it comes to crypto. When we look at C19 cases all around the world, we're nearly up to 306 million. We can see the daily new cases are just spiking like we've never ever seen before. Fortunately, the death rate is not following it, which is fantastic. We can see, I'll just have to turn this to yesterday. We can see yesterday that there were nearly 2.2 million new cases. If we just change this, filter it by new cases, the countries most heavily hit, USA, France, Italy, India, UK, Australia, Argentina, and so forth. Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody. In terms of stringency, we can see various countries are increasing their lockdowns, but the US is remaining relatively flat. UK just a very, very slight uptick. Germany increased its stringency earlier on, but it's flattening out. Canada is just starting to. Looking at the transportation indexes is really important. Masterclass students, you will get this chart when you're up to the relevant area. What we can see is the airlines index has gone banana through TradingView, but we do note that there is an improvement, and we can see improvements in the North American Transportation Index from the NASDAQ. This is generally a leading indicator of what happens to Bitcoin, or it's positively associated. We can see that the other transportation indexes are just in the process of making higher lows at the moment. When we look at Bitcoin and compare it to inflation expectations, we can see inflation expectations overcame resistance. They're in the process of moving in a wave. This is the important point. Always keep Rule 4 in mind. Just because it's coming down doesn't mean it's going to continue down. What I believe we're looking at is a higher low here for inflation. Bitcoin is positively correlated with inflation expectations. So we notice a divergence here. I would expect Bitcoin to pump up at some stage, but these things can take time. So patience is critically important. Personally, I'm using all of this time to accumulate cryptos. Masterclass students, you will also gain access to this particular chart. One thing that could particularly weigh on the entire global market is the Chinese property market. There is a great wall of debt, over $1 trillion, spread across just 7 different companies. Everybody talks about Evergrande with its approximately $396 billion worth of net debt, but there are 6 others. And what do we see happening to the share prices of those particular organizations? They have been improving. We can see Vanke right here with 107 billion in net debt. Its actual share price is starting to recover. I'll just zoom in here so we can get a better look. Of course, Masterclass students, you also have this particular chart, a share of my live chart when you get up to it. What we can see is all of these companies turning around. They're actually bottoming out and starting to recover. It's really, really obvious. And I said this from a really long time ago, there's no way that the CCP will let their property market fail. Just no way at all. They're far too intelligent to destabilize their power. Back towards the end of 2020, we had a global stock market value of $95 trillion, of which the majority, nearly 56%, was concentrated in the US stock markets. We had bond values of 128 trillion, and I'm just using crypto at 2 trillion to just give a very easy understanding. What we're looking at is it's very, very easy for crypto to start taking out more and more percentage of the stock market and the bond market. In fact, El Salvador is going to be actually launching Bitcoin bonds. It's already happening. When bond prices go up, it's seen as a risky investment environment and money transfers from stocks into bonds. Crypto is highly speculative by nature, far more speculative than stocks. That's why the volatility must be your best friend. If you approach crypto market like the stock market, you will basically get slaughtered. It requires different mindsets, different thinkings, and different approaches to just about everything. As well, crypto is exponential by nature. That is really important because these exponential factors in crypto play out really, really quickly. The stock market too can be exponential, but it occurs over a much, much longer period of time. So what do we see in the market? The VIX, the fear gauge of the stock market, it's slightly elevated, but it's basically in a downtrend. What do we see as far as the NASDAQ 100? It's just consolidating around a particular support level. Oil is taking off in price. Bond prices have collapsed from a level of resistance. It looked previously that they would spike up, literally go up the wall, but they're not doing it. One thing that always perplexes people say, okay, bond prices are going down, so therefore the market should rally. The markets are almost like the Titanic in many respects. They're very, very hard to turn around. They can take a while. That's why we must use patience. We can see bond yields starting to just skyrocket because they inverse bond prices. We can see gold starting to bounce from its support level, which is something that support levels do. That's why we track it. We can see the DXY starting to come down. There's a lot of mixed signals in the markets at the moment. People look for certainty. Please do not look for certainty. Look for probability. For example, I created KS Zone Analysis to explain the 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain real wealth. All investors and traders go through this process. When everybody starts off, they're all in the panic zone. They don't know what's happening. They want certainty, and that certainty terrorizes them. Of course they panic. They're like the light switch. They go all in and all out all the time, and they want to time the perfect bottom, the perfect top. No such thing. They worry about paper losses. In Zone 3, the patience and rule zone, we have probabilistic fearlessness, forgiveness of the fact that we did panic in the past, and that panic can turn into blame and conflict in Zone 2, but that is all forgiven in Zone 3 because we make in advance probabilistic choices. We look at probability, not certainty. Certainty means terror. Don't go for certainty. Anytime you catch yourself saying, it should have done this, you're looking at certainty, and that will harm you both from a stress perspective and financially as well. The way that we actually combat certainty and move to probability is to make volatility our best friend. We create a volatility fund called the 10-5-10 fund, which I go over in detail in the trigger section. It's all about probabilistic fearlessness, understanding that time is required for different things to play out. We must have patience. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, everything is instant. It's like instant coffee. It's not brewed. You've got a really brewed cup of coffee down in Zone 3. It can take a while, but everything is instant in Zone 1 and Zone 2. And when it goes against what people want, of course they panic first and they get angry second. It's all about certainty. Anytime you fixate on certainty, you will be terrorized. Anytime you stack your probability using rules and especially patience, you will be rewarded. Absolutely. It's just a rule of the market. Many people have attained Zone 3 wealth, and this is consistent and persistent profitability. The problem is, having money without meaning is simply another form of poverty. That's why we look at meaning. If you look at real wealth and all the components that create a positive excellence life trend, you get forged in the red. The red is literally like fire. It burns the fantasy of certainty out of your body and out of your consciousness. You just understand that it's no such thing. There is no such thing as certainty. You start to look at the probabilities. You start to say, yes, things could go against me. And if they do, how do I take that into account? But it's also much, much greater than that. In order to hold any money that you accrue, you must have a positive excellence life trend. Integrity, decency is incredibly important. We don't want something for nothing in this community. And people wanting something for nothing will just go to Zone 1 and Zone 2. Any particular gain will be very short-lived because the universe, life, has its own tests, and we must pass those every day. Masterclass members are going through the real wealth section at the moment, and a lot of them are finding it very, very good. If you're in the masterclass and you've gone through the real wealth section, please leave a little bit of a note as to what you've really liked in that particular area. I think those concepts are really, really good to share with the community. From a probabilistic stance, when I look at these charts, what do I see? Fear is not spiking straight up the wall. Bond prices are not spiking straight up the wall. Gold is not spiking straight up the wall. Good for crypto. What is also good, the yields are increasing. Good for crypto. What do I see here? There's simply a divergence between this blue line, which is Bitcoin's price action, what I call Bitcoin's fingerprint, and what is happening in the market. Does this happen a lot? Absolutely it does. It's just part of markets. So what does this mean from a professional trading and investing perspective? What we know is that Bitcoin and the cryptographic alts are all Web 3.0 ownership layers. Some will survive, like Bitcoin. We know that will survive. Ethereum is going to survive in all probability as well. And when I say all probability, I mean 20, 30 years from now, the Rip Van Winkle test. But Ethereum must get its act together against potential rivals, and those rivals are coming up in terms of value. But Ethereum has a very solid ecosystem. These are the things that you want to think about and look into from a fundamental perspective. But from a trading perspective, we just chart. We look at the chart in front of us. What do we see? Bitcoin's coming into a level of support previously. It's going to wobble around here. It could go a little bit lower, but it's likely to just reverse. Sharp angles reverse. We know this. We can see Ethereum coming into a level of support as well. And also Binance Coin, we see it hitting a level of upward support. What I've done here, I've put in particular buy levels like 10, 5, 10 levels, and you can split your 10, 5, 10 levels wherever you want. You can actually push them a long way away from price, because in crypto we can get these explosive actions either to the upside or to the downside, and the downside ones we really, really want. I'll give you an understanding of what I'm actually talking about, just approximately. With ADA, for example, ADA went up quite a percentage. Let's just turn this so that we can see it. Okay. So what we can see here is that ADA came up 192%. It's actually come down to the current price about 63%. So let me just put it around here. Look at that. Up 192, down 63. What happens when ADA decides to just reach back to its all-time high, which it should be able to do? We're looking at 170% gain. This is really important to understand the dynamics. 10, 5, 10 is a concept. It's an idea. When you have, for example, if you would have bought at the top of ADA, of course, that's really tough to watch a 63% decline. But it's all part of crypto. Crypto is like this. This is how you make the big gains. Everybody wants the 10x gain, but they're not too happy about the fact that it actually goes the other way as well. This is how you get the 10x gains. This is all about having a 10-5-10 volatility fund. Most people, when they go into crypto, they go all in and more because they're told by influencers, go all in and more. Just get every form of leverage trading thing that you can. Scale up because you don't have much money. And by the time you've dealt with leverage, you won't have any money. That's why I always say, buy at spot. Buy at spots, full stop. Just buy at spot. Then you can hold. You don't need to worry about things. Even if the market can turn completely against you, you can hold. And you can understand that the market will turn around because we're so early in the adoption of crypto. So literally what we want to do as professional traders, we want to find these higher lows. This is a low, this is a low, this is a higher low. This is a low, but it's higher than that one. We want to see if we can buy at support, around support. What happens when people are in zone 1 and zone 2? They want perfect timing. They're victims of the certainty trap. They want to capture everything. And when they have perfect timing, they would literally say, if it doesn't absolutely bottom out there to the cent, I've missed the opportunity. That's not what professionals do. Professionals buy in layers. They do not care if the particular target is hit or not. They're in it for the long term. For example, how much patience is actually required to hit this 424.30 level? I'll go back to a video I took about a month ago. This particular video, episode 361, this was taken on December the 8th. You can notice that 424.30. You can see that a lot of patience is required. Many people just simply do not have this patience, and that's why they miss out. And we can see also here in Solana, this 135.94 level. That was brought out as a 10-5-10 level around a month ago. This is literally the degree of patience that is required in the crypto market. Most people don't have this patience, and therefore they treat crypto as a kind of a lottery or a casino. Unfortunately, it's neither. And you know, with lotteries and casinos, the house always wins. So you don't want to be any part of that anyway. I particularly like the structure of Binance Coin and Sol, and Luna is looking really nice too. We want to go and aim for these uptrends. When we get into technical support areas, we also expect technical bounces. If we have potential technical bounces across the entire market, the probability of a bounce in any particular crypto is increased. We can see ADA Cardano is still significantly under pressure, as is XRP. DOT is getting close to turning around, but we want to see it turn around first. We can see Luna doing its spike downwards. Long tail rejections are really common in crypto. For example, look at this long tail XRP. It went from around $1 down to a little over 60 cents. These kind of spikes down, actually we look for those. We want those. We want to buy those. And sometimes they come down over a protracted period of time, which means you will be sitting on a loss. If you're sitting on a loss, don't feel bad. You're actually doing the right thing. Warren Buffett was incredibly intelligent when he said, when there's blood in the streets, that is the signal to buy. Because what's happening? Most other people are running for the door, and we're in the weekend as at the moment. That means far less volume is required to move a crypto a certain percentage. Turning to the community favorites, we can see VRA, Veracity, is just simply following Bitcoin's fingerprint. When Bitcoin gets its act together again, and it will, VRA could do very well. And that's the case for all alts. All alts are influenced by Bitcoin's gravity. We can see Icon. This decay is because of Bitcoin's gravity. We can see IOTA, same decay, same reason, Bitcoin. CRV is looking really good. Notice this really strong upward momentum. That's very nice CRV. We can see COM just breaking below a particular support line. RLC is under resistance, as is Cartesi. Audio is starting to hit into a cradle. Let's see what happens with Bitcoin. That's why we actually, to understand what is happening with your beloved alt, you must understand what's happening to Bitcoin. I hope every day I can get through to people that Bitcoin's fingerprint is the ultimate determination or determiner of your particular beloved alt or alts. Please look at it. I'd like to thank all the very kind and generous community members who have reached out and shown their appreciation by buying me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/CryptoTradingKS. Thanks so much, everyone. Especially, I would like to thank Vicente. Very lovely. Ken, you are never exhausted. You give us something priceless. Thank you. Thank you, Vicente. Very lovely of you. I was just a little bit delayed in getting the monthly video out. I will get that particular video out in the next 2 days. In yesterday's video, we talked about the role of education and how kids are sent along the street of life, and it has so many potholes, so many diversions, so many problems, as well as beautiful vistas and very scenic views. But it's the potholes that we need to guard our children against, so at least they have the skills. And I asked what the community thought about teaching real wealth in schools. Flamingo Crypto, a very beloved community member, Flamingo has her own channel as well. Is a very, very beautiful person. Flamingo said, as a former high school English teacher, she believes that the education system needs a major overhaul. Absolutely it does. It's a global phenomenon, and many people in the community shared that exact position. Not only looking at intelligence, IQ, but understanding that EQ, emotional intelligence, and also SQ, spiritual intelligence, is really important. Humanity is evolving as it is. Rote learning and standardized tests serve no higher good. I can't agree more. I'm a very anti-rote learning person. When I was teaching first and second year stats, I would always say, do not rote learn this. Understand it. I would basically fill the particular whiteboard at that time, I would fill it with equations, and I would say to the students, you need to understand how to construct these equations. Then you can do what I do, just whack them on a whiteboard and understand how they work. Getting rid of rote learning is critically important. That's why I'm very much against anything that dumbs us down. And there are so many educational tools that do exactly that. And I love what Badger said, another beloved community member. All community members are beloved. Badger said, a really good book on education I would recommend, Dumbing Us Down by John Gatto. Absolutely. There's so much dumbing down. It's just incredible. It's almost like, for example, when you get your Windows operating system and everything is done for you, but you don't know how to make things work. We really know how to make things work. We need to know how to solve problems. That is absolutely a better approach. Thank you, Jason. Jason said, I agree, kids need to learn real wealth early in life. KS Real Wealth for Kids. Wow, that's so cool. And I love what Glennis said, one of our original community members. I'm still mastering patience. Glennis, it's really tough to master patience, but I know that you're being very generous in what you say. You have a lot of patience. And jokingly, Glennis said, which zone is frustration? Well, it's zone 2, and you know that already. And Peter, thanks for your quote. The volatility index in my brain is finding homeostasis. It's chilling out. It's finding balance. Well done, Peter. Lovely. Tales from the Man Cave. Nick, he's our resident artist. He put a very, very good thing together. I'll just give you the summary of it. He believes that if kids and teenagers are given a stake in an investment with a small budget, they can buy things and learn to take responsibility. That is a very, very good way to go. Thank you, Tails. I love what Martin said. He said he would love to see logic, financial education, and rhetoric. Rhetoric is a really interesting area. It's the study of argument. Well, it's a little bit more than that, but you can think about it like that. Added to the school curriculum, elements of real wealth like responsibility, gratitude, forgiveness, determination, persistence, commitment, and happiness. Fantastic. And Martin sees the family as the base for transferring the real wealth mindset. That's why I love that so many families are actually doing the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. I love especially the real wealth section being shared with the children. And I know many parents are finding it absolutely fantastic. I get people reaching out each day letting me know. And I want to thank everybody so much for reaching out. I love to see your emails and your comments. And Crypto No Stress, another beloved community member, I would like to see schools around the world add a subject, Real Wealth, written by Ken Standfield. We have so many incredible community members and they're all beloved. Thank you, Via Frequency. inspiring everyone to maintain a positive life trend. That is what it's all about. And thank you very much, Tessa, for your lovely comment. The world will be a far better place the day there are more people like you. The really interesting thing is that I see our entire community, we all share that goal and that vision of being more of a financial blessing in our own lives and the lives of those we love. And this focus on real wealth is something that is shared by everyone inside the community. Thank you, Tessa, so much. Beardy, thank you, my friend. Love to see personal responsibility and financial education taught in schools. Absolutely, Beardy. And trying to make that fun for kids as well is really, really important. When people actually draw the jigsaw puzzle together and they understand that there's so many tests in life that are given not by other people but by life itself, and those tests either promote or demote us, kids will gain an entirely different perspective on how it is to live a really good life, a positive life trend based around personal excellence. I thought it could be really interesting to discuss tomorrow the concept of never, ever, ever giving up, having determination, having a focus and staying with that focus until the job is done. That's a really important concept in life. Having that determination to succeed, having the stubbornness not to give up, they're very, very powerful components of real wealth. I'd love if we had a little bit of a chat about that. I'd like to do a shout out, of course, to all the other community members that I didn't have the opportunity to go through your comments and share them publicly. I think we have the most incredible community, and it's an honor to see your comments and be part of your lives. I just absolutely adore it. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.